Hello, hello, hello. I'm vertical this time. So, just going over this process. Here's me playing with some new brushes because I'm kind of sick of using the basic ones. They are kind of lame on Procreate. I feel mean saying they're lame. They're like fine. But especially when it comes to the chalkier or like charcoal, things like that, the more textured brushes, I feel like they just don't have fantastic gritty-ish brushes. For things like cloth or like smoother textures, I feel like they have decent brushes there. But yeah, just downloaded a bunch of them. Also the painting brushes. I don't like the way most of them blend, like the normal basic Procreate ones. I think I used like the artist brush library or something. I just looked up an app. I just looked at Procreate brushes, and there were free ones. So I spent like an hour or two just going through and individually downloading these specifically free ones because they're like previews for larger brush packs. Making money moves, as the youth say. Oh yeah, but there was a couple like tree stamp brushes, which is nice. I feel kind of like a cheater using stamps, but I mean, I paint over them. So like, I don't know, it doesn't really matter. But still. I want to say this was almost all, at least as far as the little guy, I want to say he's on one, maybe two layers. Because, I don't know, you either die of 400 layerer, or you live long enough to become a same layered painting person. You get it. Imagine I said that before. Yeah. Butterfly stamps, those were neat. Oh yeah, there's that little cat guy, that was a stamp. Usually I just like using the little stamp things. The stamps, I think it's pretty self-explanatory, but it's just the ones where you just like press and it's done. It's a tree shape or a cat shape. And I think they're kind of useful just for planning out basic compositions, shit like that. I haven't even gone in with the rest of the mushrooms yet. Mountains. You know, the only reason I can even vaguely make a mountain is because of Bob Ross. Shout out Bob Ross. Love Bob Ross. I mean, conceptually, I don't know Bob Ross, but, you know. Adding in some... Oh, there was that texture I put in at the beginning, but then I just used the liquify tool, just swirled it around a bit. And then here's me playing with that monoline, because there's one, maybe two, I'm gonna say, where it's like empty in the middle and it just creates the hollow letters. That's what you saw on the top left there. Going in here, highlighting further. I initially was gonna do a bunch of small eyes on the little cat thing, but then I was like, it's far away. You know what would carry better? One weirdly realistic big ass eye, because I'm a fan of doing that. I think it's entertaining. I don't know why, but I do. Finally going in on that mushroom. I end up, because it slowly expands as I paint over it, chalk over it. And yeah, I know in a bit I end up just like lassoing it and moving it a bit more towards the top right because it ends up covering most, if not all, of the antlers. Yeah, and I like the antlers. I think they're cute. I made sure to have like the little suit bit not super tightly on the antlers because that wouldn't really make sense material-wise, you feel, which is why it like kind of slopes in between each antler point. Okay, well, this is an awful time for me to be talking about it because it just covered the whole thing. Yeah, it's there. I promise. I'm not gonna lie, I did not expect to take so long on this, but sometimes I forget that, like, the only thing that kind of stops art from being better is just how much time you're willing to sink into it. Because, I don't know, you kind of... Well, I shouldn't be saying you, this is more of a me thing, I guess. But I'll just look at something and be like, okay, well, once it's rendered, it'll look like that. But, like, you can just fucking keep rendering and keep shading forever. Forever. And I'm afraid I'll make it, like, fucking excessive. But, you know. I did like what I used for the, little bushes, trees, ferns, things. It was actually just like lines. You see it right at the beginning, around that little pee-piss bit. It's like the next frame, but it's just a bunch of like tiny lines stacked. And if you look a bit carefully, you can still see it in this section here. It's a bit blurrier, I think. I don't know. I just cropped and zoomed in because it was pretty small as far as the eye, and I figured, you know, I just might as well not make people squint. Would have had it more red, but I was worried people would be like, damn, why is he high as hell? So, I don't know, I'm saying it's a big fucking eye cat. You know what's a good piece of art? Is it just called the Cyclops? I don't know, it's the one that's like oil pastel, and it's got the like big ass Cyclops behind the mountain, and then it has the lady just kind of like that in the bottom right with the oil pastels. I'll put a picture up. And it'll make me feel bad about my art, because I'll put it next to mine, but like, ha! There it is, Cyclops. I fucking love that drawing, bro. I love that drawing so much. I don't know. Sorry, just looking at this reminded me of that. And also Mike Wazowski, but yeah. Yeah, this is gonna be at least a two-parter because I've already, like, even after just exporting the video, I already worked on it way more, so. Ignore my naked wall. I still haven't picked up the fucking paintings. Oh my god. I've been, like, low-key hella depressed. That's, like, chill. That's chill. I'll figure it out. But yeah, part 1. Thanks for watching. Subscribe. Subscribbles. Make sure to smash that like button. Yeah. I would say hype the video. I don't think you can do it until you have like 500 subscribers. So, hype it in your hearts. Just hold it there. Then breathe really heavily to get hype. Adrenaline. Have a heart attack. Don't have a heart attack. So I'll have one less view on the next one. I'm sorry. But yeah, hopefully subscribe. Ooh, there are prints in the description. Aha, website. It's just iolite.com. Well, www.iolite.com, but I mean, it should redirect if you don't include the www. I'm gonna shut up. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. I'm still gonna, I'm gonna have a video coming out soon, probably like a little animation, animatic, whatever you want to call it, similar to the weird things I used to do one, because I went out, was this like last night or the night before, but I almost got robbed. Like, I was a bit inebriated at like the side of the road waiting for a lift, and some dude tried coming up to me and being like, bro, help me out, like, there's an ATM down the street. He tried to lead me to my ATM, which no. I gave him my cart to pacify him. So, RIP weed cart, but at least I didn't get robbed. And I do think it's kind of funny because like, I'm like right in between that weird period of, I'm probably going back to like some self-paced college classes shit in April, ideally starting April 1st. So, I mean, I'm like kind of broke right now because I can't really get a full, like, nice-ass job, but I'm just doing odds and ends. So, all that to say, I think this dude managed to pick who was probably the poorest person on the block at the moment, because, like, they just picked whoever looked the drunkest, I guess. I don't know. I don't know, I feel like I look pretty young. Wouldn't you assume I'm in, like, the broke college student demographic? Maybe. Do I have too much yearning in my eyes? Maybe. I don't know, but keep an eye out for that. That was a weird experience. did not expect that. It was still a good night. He wasn't like really mean. He didn't have like a knife or anything. So that was pretty slay. Well, it wasn't pretty slay because I didn't get slain. Yeah. Anyways, thanks to the weed pen that got me not robbed. Shout out. Shout out to that. Missing you. Salute to you, kind soldier. R.I.P.